Just imagine this. All the winners of the Vuelta from this century facing each other one more time in their prime. The conditions are equal for everyone. Same diet, same training, and identical equipment. Let's get started. We immediately begin with one of the standout riders from the early years of this century's Vuelta. Roberto Heras won the Vuelta 4 times, first in 2000 and then again in 2003, 2004, and 2005. His 2005 victory was temporarily taken away from him because of alleged doping use, with Denis Menchov being awarded the title instead. However, through the courts, Heras eventually got his victory back. Roberto Heras was a lightweight, tough climber who especially excelled in long mountain stages and could sustain a high climbing pace for a long time. Heras always peaked in his home Grand Tour, although he also finished in the top 5 of both the Giro and the Tour. In total, Heras won 10 stage victories. He is tied for the record number of overall Vuelta wins. You might think I would rank him among the very top because of that, but that's not the case. Other riders above him also proved themselves in the other Grand Tours. I think he would finish in 7th place. Ángel Luis Casero won the Vuelta in 2001. Ángel Luis Casero was a versatile stage racer with a solid time trial and enough climbing ability to survive difficult stage races well. The Spaniard also once finished 5th overall in the Tour and had already stood on the final podium in Spain as runner-up before his overall victory. Casero can be found in 16th place on my list. Aitor Gonzalez won the race in 2002, and he possessed a very strong time trial. He won stages in all 3 Grand Tours, including 3 in the Vuelta. Gonzalez can be found in 15th place on my list. In 2006, we find the first non-Spaniard on the list. Alexander Vinokurov was a master of hilly terrain and one-week stage races. Still, you certainly can't say he was unsuccessful in Grand Tours. Besides winning the Vuelta, he also stood on the Tour podium. Vino won 4 stages in both the Tour and the Vuelta. The Kazakh rider takes 12th place. Denis Menchov won his first Grand Tour, the Vuelta, in 2007. In 2009, he would also win the Giro. In the Tour, he finished on the podium twice as 3rd overall. Denis Menchov was a calm, efficient stage racer who was especially strong in consistency, time trials, and surviving difficult mountain stages in a controlled way. The Russian won stages in all Grand Tours, including 5 in the Vuelta. In the rankings, he comes in 9th. If you've already seen my Giro or Tour rankings, you'll now come across a familiar name. Alberto Contador won the first of his 3 Vueltas in 2008. The Spaniard was also successful in the other Grand Tours, winning the Tour twice and the Giro twice as well. He was known for his explosive attacks and his dancing style out of the saddle. El Pistolero won 6 stages in the Vuelta. Contador certainly deserves a podium place, and that will be 3rd place. Now on to another Spanish superstar, Alejandro Valverde. The former world champion often came close to overall victory, but usually had to settle for podium finishes. In 2009, he finally won his home Grand Tour. Valverde's specialty was not the high mountains or time trials, but rather his explosive accelerations and performances in medium mountain terrain. Valverde won stages in every Grand Tour, including an incredible 12 in the Vuelta. I place Valverde in 10th place. Vincenzo Nibali won his first Grand Tour in 2010, later adding 2 Giro victories and a Tour win. The Italian was an incredibly consistent Grand Tour rider and someone capable of fighting his way back after difficult situations. Nibali won 1 stage in the Vuelta. He can be found in 5th place in the rankings. For Chris Froome, the Vuelta would also become his first Grand Tour victory in 2011. Later, he added another Vuelta title in 2017, along with 4 Tour victories and 1 Giro win. However, Froome did not stand on the top step of the podium in Madrid in 2011. Juan José Cobo officially held the title until 2019, when he was removed from the results for using banned substances, handing the victory to Froome instead. In total, Froome won 5 Vuelta stages. Because of the dominance he also showed in the Tour, I can give no one else the top position. Chris Horner shocked friend and foe alike in 2013 by winning the Vuelta at the age of 42. To this day, he remains the oldest Vuelta winner ever. It was especially impressive because he had never previously come close to winning a Grand Tour overall. So there's still hope for all the riders getting up there in age. He also beat no weak competition that year, with Nibali and Valverde finishing second and third. Horner won 2 stages that year as well. Still, the American ends up in last place on my list simply because the other riders achieved more across multiple Grand Tours. Fabio Aru took control of the 2015 Vuelta on the final day and won the overall classification. The Italian had a blazing start to his career, but later faded somewhat. Before winning the Vuelta, he had already finished second and third in the Giro. He won stages in all 3 Grand Tours, including 2 in the Vuelta. Aru is ranked 13th. Nairo Quintana defeated Chris Froome in the battle for the red jersey in 2016. The Colombian had already finished second twice behind Froome in the Tour. In 2016, the tables finally turned. Quintana had also won the Giro in 2014. The Colombian won stages in every Grand Tour, including 2 in the Vuelta. Quintana is ranked 6th. Simon Yates bounced back from his collapse in the 2018 Giro by impressively winning that year's Vuelta. Simon Yates is an attacking climber with a sharp acceleration uphill. The Brit would later win his second Grand Tour in 2025 with the Giro. Yates won stages in all 3 Grand Tours, including 2 in the Vuelta. He comes in 8th place. Then we arrive at the co-record holder for the number of Vuelta victories. In 2019, Primož Roglic won the first of his 4 Vuelta titles. The others followed in 2020, 2021, and 2024. Roglic is a strong all-round rider known for his explosive acceleration, which earned him many victories while also being excellent in time trials. In 2020, the Slovenian came agonizingly close to winning the Tour, but was beaten in the final time trial by his more famous compatriot, Pogačar. Roglic did win the Giro in 2023. He won stages in every Grand Tour, including a total of 15 in the Vuelta. Roglic takes 4th place. I don't need to tell you that Remco Evenepoel is a great rider. In 2022, he won his first and so far only Grand Tour. Evenepoel's biggest weapons are his time trialing and long solo rides. He has already won the World Time Trial Championship 3 years in a row and is also the reigning Olympic champion in both the time trial and the road race. However, in the high mountains, Evenepoel sometimes still struggles against the pure climbers. That's where some vulnerability remains. Still, besides his Vuelta victory, he also managed a very respectable 3rd place in the Tour. Evenepoel won stages in all Grand Tours, including 5 in the Vuelta. I place him 11th on my rankings. Sepp Kuss won the extraordinary Vuelta of 2023. He shared the final podium with his 2 teammates, Vingegaard and Roglic. This created some strange situations in the final week, as Roglic still wanted to attack his teammate for the overall classification, while Vingegaard preferred to gift the win to the American. Kuss had been a loyal domestique for both men, repeatedly sacrificing his own chances to help them achieve Grand Tour victories. Eventually, team management stepped in and decided nobody would attack Kuss anymore. My feeling was that although Kuss was in incredible shape, especially impressive after already riding both the Giro and Tour, Jonas Vingegaard was actually the strongest rider in that Vuelta. Kuss won 2 Vuelta stages in total. He comes in 14th place. Finally, Jonas Vingegaard, the most recent Vuelta winner. Besides the red jersey, the Dane has already won the pink jersey and 2 yellow jerseys in the other Grand Tours. Vingegaard is an incredibly consistent force in Grand Tour racing. Even on a bad day, he rarely completely cracks. His greatest strength is climbing, though he is also very strong against the clock. Vingegaard has won stages in all Grand Tours, including 5 so far in the Vuelta. He takes 2nd place on the list. Well, that was the entire ranking. I've already done the same thing for the Giro and the Tour, so if you found this interesting, you can definitely check out those videos as well. I'll put a link in the description. Now, I'm very curious what you think of the rankings and what you would change. Let me know.